Hello, well, here's another one in the series of how to write a book, and today's topic is what to write about, a common problem or question for people thinking of writing. And today I'm going to present you with 10 tips which I hope will help you make the decision on what to write about, and hopefully that will be the right decision for you. And this applies whether you're thinking of writing fiction or non-fiction. Indeed, it helps to address the whole issue of exactly what you are going to write about. So let's get started, should we? And and look at these 10 tips. Now, the thing is that many first-time authors make a poor choice, and they end up writing the wrong book in effect, and it's something I've often heard. So let's hope we can avoid that happening to you. So tip number one. And this is a well-known piece of advice, but it's well known because it's an important one. Write about what you really know about. And that again is true whether you're thinking of writing a work of fiction. You need to be authentic, and if you're writing a work of non-fiction, then it's very easy to spot when somebody really doesn't have enough specialist knowledge, and then it's the blind leading the blind, isn't it? So write what you really know about. Tip 2. Now, if you're writing your first book, really try not to write anything that's too long. We publish 30-minute guides by specialists, and they work really well for a first book to write. So there may be something that people are always asking you about, and you could write a guide. A 50-page guide is a perfectly respectable book. By the time you've written that, you'll be well ready to write something more substantial. So do pick something that's on a single topic that you know about and isn't going to go on and on and on and on and on. Tip 3. Have a very clear goal about why you're writing the book. That goal will then flush out what you should be writing about, and that will help you. There's another piece in this series of how to write a book specifically about goals, which you may like to check out. Moving on then, tip 4. Do try to think about what would happen if your book's very successful and you end up getting the name for whatever it is. So it's a nice problem to have, but people say, oh, I wrote this book and everybody thinks that's what I specialize in, and that isn't really, or whatever it is. So do think about it. Don't write on something you don't want to be known for. Tip 5. Decide on a well-defined genre, sort of this term that's used a lot, but it's just really what type of book. How do you classify it? If it isn't easy to classify, then it will be difficult to find. So pick on a well-defined genre that you're familiar with. Tip 6. Try to write something you'd like to read. Obviously you're writing it, so you'll be reading your own stuff, but having a reader's hat on some of the time is a tremendous aid when you're writing. So what would you like to read? What would you find it useful if it was available? If you can't find the book you want, maybe you could write it. Tip 7. Now, there's a lot of different views about this, but I've strongly come down on the line of look at what else has been written on your subject and then work out how to do it even better. There's often in popular topics a well-known work that everybody reads or recommends, but it doesn't mean it's the best one or it will remain the best one. So sometimes you can look at other books that are already selling, look at their deficiencies, and then write something that's even better. Tip 8. Write a synopsis first. There's another piece on what a synopsis is, but basically when you're writing a synopsis, you're doing a distilled version of what the book is, what it's about, and so on, what readers it's for, and all the rest of it. And in writing that, it will help you decide whether or not that is really what you want to write about. You might end up writing several synopses, and one of them will be the winner, and that will be the book that you want to write about. So writing a synopsis is actually part of the decision-making process. Also helps in the preparation. Tip 9. Write about something you really care about. It really shows. It takes time to write a book. If you're not really desperately interested in it, then that's going to show, and you probably won't finish it anyway. So get stuck into something you really, really care about. And tip 10, and in some ways this is the top tip: write about your subject in a way that only you know it. It's that uniqueness, that specialness about you and your view of the world and your topic that's going to make all the difference. So what do you know? What does only you know? What do only you know? And think about that. And then when you write your book, it will be distinctive. In fact, it will be unique. That overused word, but it will be unique. And it has every chance then of success. So I hope you found these tips useful, and they'll be useful if you find that they help you to decide what subject to write on, and then you can get started, and in 12 weeks or so, if you keep at it, you could be a published author. So do put the thought into this, and it will help you write the right book and get it written. So if you like that, please click on likes below. You might like to subscribe. These come out regularly. If you click on the bell, then you'll be notified of another one. And if you've got any questions, please post them below, and I'll do my best in the future items in this series to answer your questions. Right. Hope you get your book written soon in the right topic. Bye for now.